Sipho Pityana is a businessman with extensive local and international experience in a variety of sectors. He's also the president of Business Unity South Africa and joins us now. Sipho, good to see you, sir. Look, these images are devastating, they're scary, and they are creating so much fear. The realities here for businesses are one of economic loss. The realities for average South Africans, like the president said earlier this week, we could face food shortages and medical supply shortages, and it's disrupted supply chains. What are businesses telling you about the impact and how quickly they can recover from this to get food back on shelves?
Well, Eleni, we are deeply concerned by what is happening. Clearly, there is a very strong element of crime behind it, but certainly we are under no illusion that there may very well be a well-orchestrated, thought out and driven large-scale sabotage and treasonous acts that are being perpetrated by people who know exactly what they are doing. What is being targeted is not as random as it appears. It's supply chains, it's logistic routes that are intended to secure the supply of fuel, of food, of critical supplies, of health services, including disruption of our COVID-19 vaccination programs, etc., etc. So it is very targeted. There's an element of criminals taking advantage of it. We are under no illusion that there is some hand of industrial sabotage.
So Sipho, are you saying that this was deliberately incited and there are political reasons behind this to destabilize South Africa? And if that is the case, who would be behind this and why? We know that the trigger has been the incarceration of Jacob Zuma. We also know that there's a confluence of other elements like economic inequalities and the desperation brought and triggered perhaps and exacerbated by the pandemic. Are you saying that there's only one reason here, and that is a political incitement to destabilize?
Well, we believe that South Africa has a sophisticated and well-equipped intelligence infrastructure that it must deploy to get to the bottom of what the agenda is and why this is being done. Certainly, it is curious that it coincides with the tail end of the Zondo Commission's inquiry, which has revealed large-scale looting of state resources and destabilization of our government by a bunch of criminals with international connections. So it is a very interesting coincidence, but we'll leave it to the security structures to get to the bottom of it and provide the intelligence. Certainly from business point of view, there are large numbers of small businesses and survivalist businesses that will never recover from the damage. Remember, most of them, especially in the townships and in the inner cities, would not be having banking facilities. They would be running their businesses from whatever means they have. So having your stock decimated and your properties destroyed may mean that you will never recover from that. So our biggest concern is
talk about who's been targeted here
thereafter.
So let's talk about who's been targeted here, because we've seen the big warehouses, central distribution centers that feed into supply chains, into the likes of KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng. But you're right, it's also the small businesses, small to medium-sized enterprises, and a lot of black-owned businesses. So businesses that were already under pressure and so vulnerable. So who are the targets here, and how do we help those businesses recover from this very bad cycle? Because as as this continues a few days on, it becomes so much more layered and complex as to why so many parts of the people and people in the value chain have been targeted, from the poor to the hardcore industrial companies.
As I said earlier, Eleni, our view is that certainly the targeting of warehouses, which warehouses are being targeted and which routes, logistic routes are being targeted, etc., does suggest a measure of sophistication. The wanton looting that is indiscriminate of small businesses in townships in particular and CBD and other vulnerable areas does suggest that criminals have moved in also. They're not necessarily driven by those behind the scenes, but they're taking advantage of the situation. It doesn't matter what the reason is. Certainly from the business point of view, the cost is, for many, will be beyond recovery, even though some may be covered by insurance. Remember that some insurance cover don't provide for what they call riot or unrest, and even these medium and bigger companies may, in fact, be decimated. The aftermath of this is that it's a big setback for the South African economy. It's a repelling factor for investments. It does mean that we're going to lose even more jobs in an environment where we're having serious challenges of recovering from COVID, a lackluster recovery at that. Our concern as business is that the response by the state is lackluster, it is inadequate, it is incompetent, and we are deeply concerned that such resources as the state has have not been fully unleashed to push back. And the concern about that is that it may very well be giving a sense to all these criminals, sophisticated or otherwise, whether there's a political agenda or not, it gives this impression of a capability on those behind this to overrun the state. And the longer it is done, the more dangerous it becomes for all of us.
Thank you so much, Mr. Pityana. Great to have you on the show. Much appreciated. Right, just ahead, the Taliban accused of targeting female journalists. We'll hear from a family whose daughter was killed in a car bomb attack.